All right, so we're catching the tail end of the second game of the quarterfinals between Tezuka and Midas and SE Nephilim. And I think Tezuka has a really good position here. I didn't catch the start, but I think Tezuka started with the weak corner 1-8-8, 3, and 9. Midas played in 5, and Tezuka grabbed safety in 8, which lets Midas lock in 6. But he didn't want to use one of his more powerful cards there, and these 4s up suggest it's kind of easy to sweep at the end for Tezuka. So what I was thinking was you play 9-4-3-9 and 7. You are trailing 6-4, but any move in 4 can't capture you. If they go in 4, you can then play seifer in 1. That will make it 5-5 unless they played larsa. We'll get back to larsa in a sec. And 7-7-5-5 is guaranteed a capture of one of those 4s at the end, so you're going to win 6-4. If they block with larsa in 4, I assume 7-7-5-5 in 1 wins, comboing that. I think it should. Rules are plus wall combo. So I think if Tezuka goes 9-4-3-9 and 7, Midas probably has to block 3. There's also the idea of something like 7-4-7-5 and 1, but let's look at 3 first. If he blocks 3, anything he puts in 3, seifer can take. And seifer will take both 3 and 5, putting Tezuka up 6-4. I should say, I have a rooting interest for Tezuka, get that out of the way. And then 7-7-5-5 can take anything in 4 except 7-4-7-5, but 7-4-7-5 takes nothing and Tezuka's up 6-4, so Midas will have to capture, and he'll only be able to capture one thing. And importantly, he won't be able to capture seifer with 1-8-7-7 and 1, seifer's in 2 as we recall, because 7-7-5-5 then is a plus in 4, 7 plus 7 equals 5 plus 9. So I think this wins against 4 and against 3. So the question is there something like 7-4-7-5 in 1? The point being, if Tezuka then goes in 4, probably capturing, say, 5, making it 5-5, Midas can then go in 2 with Catablipas 1-8-7-7, making it 6-4 again, and Tezuka will only have 1 capture in 3. So if 9-4-3-9 in 7, 7-4-7-5 in 1. I do notice this sets up 7-7-5-5 really well, so I think 6-9-A4 in 3 should win, because 7-7-5-5 has lots of captures in every square left. That looks like a win to me. So I think 9-4-3-9 in 7 is the win, and I think the cue that it's good is that it's so easy for your other cards to sweep the top row. Now we could also look at 3. If I was playing and I saw what I thought was a win, I'd play it or keep calculating it. But 3 is also possible. The thing that's nice about 3 is any card that goes in 2 you can recapture, and the opponent doesn't have from 1 with seifer, which will be safe, and the opponent doesn't have a nice looking move in 7. So 3 also looks appealing. He does go with 3. Given that I'm pretty sure 7 was winning, I'm a little worried that Tezuka has given up a win here just because I didn't check this move and I did check the other move. And I'm pretty sure of the other move, but okay. If larsa, 9-4-3-9 isn't multi-directional enough. So one of the nice things about playing in 7 was either of the cards Tezuka could end up with would have a capture in 2 or 3. 9-4-3-9 does not have a capture in 4. So what if Midas plays in 2? Probably with larsa, because 1-8-7-7 is susceptible to combos. So larsa makes it 6-4 to Midas. Then seifer in 1 makes it 5-5. And then the issue is, if Midas had to go in 4 there, he'd lose, but he can play 7-4-7-5 in 7, and 9-4-3-9 has no captures. So against larsa in 2, Tezuka can't win in 1. What if he starts in 7? That seems more promising. 9-4-3-9 in 7. When 6-9-A4 is going to be a sweeper, and that's going to win, because 6-9-A4 has the plus wall in 4, which would then flip larsa in 2, and combo stuff. And if Midas goes in 4, then Seifer in 1 is going to flip multiple things, and that's going to win. Okay, so Larsa in 2 is not a tie. Catablipus in 2 is not a tie. That gets comboed. So if 2 doesn't work, the next square to look at, and 7, 4, 7, 5, and 2 also doesn't work. It doesn't capture anything, and Tezuka could go, say, 9, 4, 3, 9, and 7. So 2 doesn't work. And Turds just messaged me. That's a fun move at first glance. 2 is bad. 2 is bad. So next thing to look at is probably 7. Larsa in 7 is safe, so that's the first move that jumps out at me. One really nice feature of this position for Tezuka is Seifer now has a plus or plus wall on the card in 5 from both directions. Now, it may not have combo potential that actually matters, but it is appealing. So what happens there? If Larsa in 7, it looks to me like 9, 4, 3, 9, and 4 should be a win. The game is 5-5, and Seifer can capture anything put in 2, and if something goes in 1, it won't capture 9, 4, 3, 9, and Seifer will capture the card in 5, and importantly, Catablipus 1877 in 2 is comboed by Seifer. So I think Larsa in 7 loses. Is there anything neat in 1? One looks very possible. So say, I don't know, 7, 4, 7, 5, and 1. If Tezuka goes in 2, he can take a lead, but the problem is, no, this doesn't work. Larsa in 4 is not good there. Alright. What about 7, 4, 7, 5, and 7? Does that do anything? If the 9, 4, 3, 9, and 4, this no longer wins because it is met by Larsa in 2, which isn't comboed by Seifer. If Seifer in 4, Tezuka goes up 7-3, but Catablipus in 2, and he's played it. And I'm currently thinking this is a tie, but I didn't really have time to calculate it out. Interesting position. Alright, has Midas escaped? So if Seifer in 4, Tezuka goes up 7-3, but Catablipus in 2 is a tie. Captures 2 cards back, it's 5-5, 9, 4, 3, 9 is dead. If 9, 4, 3, 9 and 2 in 4, then Larsa in 2 is the tie, going up 6-4, and Seifer only captures 1 thing back. What about moves in 2? 9, 4, 3, 9, and 2 can be met with Larsa in 4. Remember, no same. That's a tricky line because it's easy to forget about that. And if Seifer in 2, that goes up 6-4. Looks like he's probably going in 2. If Seifer in 2, that goes up 6-4, but something like, I'm forgetting what the other card was, 9, 4, 3, 9. You know, anything in, Larsa in 4 is going to tie there. So is there a win in 1, or is this a tie? That is the question. It's hard for there to be a win in 1, because if 9, 4, 3, 9, and 1, Seifer can't capture that back from 2. And if Seifer in 2, 9, 4, 3, 9 is doing nothing. So I think he's about to play 9, 4, 3, 9, and 2. And I think we're headed towards a tie. And I think Midas very nicely found the tie here with a good control of the rules. Okay. Different way to get to the tie. We will be seeing Larsa in 2. Interesting game. I wonder if 7 was correct. I'll have to look at that later, because it did look to me like a win. But maybe I missed an idea similar to this. But in this line, the 9, 4, 3, 9 ended up dead too much, and in the other line, the 7, 7, 5, 5 was usually live. So I thought it worked, but I may have calculated wrong. That said, interesting tie. This is tie number 2 in their match. On a hand basis, I think Seifer and Larsa are two excellent choices for the level 10s. In fact, those were the two I considered. Obviously, any other A964 is also good, but it's funny how everyone likes Seifer. And Larsa has been the most popular card choice of the round, followed by Seifer. I think 9-9 corners are better than 9-8 corners on this set. I think the backside of the 9-8 corner is just as helpful as the backside of the 9-9 corner. Difference between 5-4 and 4-3 not so big. And the strength of a 9-9 is quite difficult to handle, especially because a lot of times the A9 corners don't have the same walls against them. And so I prefer Tezuka's choice here of a 9-9 to Midas' choice of a 9-8 on this set. 8-8 corner versus 8-7-7. I'm a little skeptical of 7s. I think there's just a lot of things that overpower them here. Your level 10 is going to have at least 2 things that overpower them. Your level 8 is going to have probably 2 things that overpower them. A level 7 or 6, if there are 8-8 corners there, also probably do. So I like the choice of the 8-8 corner at level 6 for Tezuka. The 7-7-5-5 I am skeptical of. It played really nicely here because there were so many 4s facing up, but I think it kind of is too reliant on punishing 0 gaps to take 10s, and there just aren't that many 10s around. But there are a lot of 8s around, so maybe it plays better than I think. Similarly, I don't love the 7-4-7-5 here. I don't love Trapdoor, never liked rares, and 1-8-7-7 I'm not sure about. Alright, hopefully we will be getting another game. An interesting second tie. I think Midas versus Tezuka is the most interesting game of the round. Alright, it looks like they will continue later. So glad to catch a little of it. Very curious if I was right in my analysis. Definitely a game where Tezuka got to apply pressure, but Midas found a nice save. And a nice save that specifically also meant he noticed that there was no same, which is an easy thing to miss in calculations. Akiyama, with 3 moves left, has used over 100 seconds on this turn. I'm not sure if this has ever been seen before. Akiyama being the fastest player known to man. But it looks like there is not a win due to 6-4-6-7 in 7. Turds has managed to tie an incredible number of games on this set, which just strikes me as so weird because hands are so likely to be unbalanced. Anyway, glad I got to catch a little of the Midas Tezuka match. I think it's the most interesting match of the round. I don't know who's favorite, nor... I mean, I'm rooting for Tezuka, go Avalanche, but whoever wins is in really good shape in the tournament. You know, obviously, if you're in the semifinals, you're in good shape. And, you know, if you didn't draw Delial or Seto, that's also really nice too. And while DJ has played great this round, he's so far, and knocking out Piggy was an enormous achievement. You know, if you're not playing Delial or Seto at this point, you're happy. So whoever wins this match is in good shape. It's a good matchup. 2 of the best players to never win a tournament, so also would be really cool if whoever does win this managed to go all the way. I think Midas has made more finals, but Tezuka has more semifinals. I think Midas has 2 finals, and Tezuka has like 4 semis. Overall, Tezuka, I think, has higher win rates, but Midas has done it more recently and maybe against better opposition. It's really close. They're both, I think, really great players, and there are around 10 kind of top tier open players still around, and they're very much 2 of them. So, alright, shame we don't get to watch more, but glad I got to catch a little. And I think the weak corner, I'll also have to think about that. We haven't been seeing many weak corners. Usually the 8-8 corners, if we go back, these 8-8 corners have been used as starters, but here the 1-8-8-3 was put in 9. I guess it didn't make much sense in 1. You know, it's well covered by Midas' 7-4-7-5. And so it's probably pretty easily attacked. Interestingly, Midas doesn't have other ways to capture it, right? He doesn't have a way to capture it from 2 because there's no same wall, so Larsa can't capture from 2. So I wonder if 1883 in 1 was an interesting starter here. I don't immediately see a great way to set up against it, to set up a threat in 2. But I do always like weak corners, and clearly he managed to get a lot of pressure out of it by playing trapdoor safely in 8 afterwards. So one of the reasons Tezuka is not using Larsa is because one of the stipulations on the rule set is you can only use one semi or rare. And so if you use Larsa, you're locked out of others, and thus if you use something like Trapdoor, you can't use something like Larsa as well. I tend to think low-level rares are a weakness on this set, not a strength. That their single directionality means you have to get them out of your hand early, or they're just going to be a massive problem, and they don't necessarily do something you want to use early. But Tezuka found a really nice way of getting it out of his hand by the second move, and to good effect. And so maybe he has found a way to use it well. I am very skeptical of the low level rares. I think using a level 10 rare is pretty viable here. It's just so powerful, and if they don't happen to have it covered with double numbers, you're in good shape. Interestingly, we can tell from Tezuka's hand, he is, I suspect, very worried about that high level rare, or specifically about how to handle the opponent's level 10 in general. And because you can see the 9439, he has double numbers up left, the 1883, he has double numbers down right, and the 7755. So he's very much made sure to have 10s covered in every direction. I suspect it's not quite worth it, given that there's going to be probably 110 in the opponent's hand. And so I'd rather not commit to weaker cards. I think the 1883 and the 9439 are very powerful cards for their level, but the 7755 I am skeptical of, and I suspect it was chosen to make sure there was level 10 coverage. Because it could be seen as covering 8s, but I think once you notice he has double numbers every other direction, it does look like he was filling out, making sure to have double numbers in all directions, which is likely making sure to have rare coverage, because I don't think other level 10s are going to be all that scary in the sense of I need a specific answer. Midas, not similarly worried. There is a few double numbers in his hand, but 2 of them are up down, and only one of them is double numbers next to each other to cover a corner. Yeah, I really hope to catch more of this set because I think they're interesting players, and I haven't gotten to watch a ton of them play because my most active period coincides with Tezuka going mostly dark for a while. He played a lot before I showed up, and he played a bunch after I left, but not so much during. Midas started hitting his stride towards the end of my run and just after, so I also feel I missed seeing him at his best, though the little I saw of both was always very competent to much better than that. So, guess we'll call it here. Hope to sneak getting to view the decisive results, but I'm excited to catch more games, and hopefully I'll get to record them too.